Hello everyone, my name is Kristina, and today, whenever you're doing your practice, we are going to be working on some moves that will help relieve any tension in the back. So not necessarily our lower back or upper back, but just working on loosening up through the back side. So we won't need any props tonight other than your yoga mat, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are going to start in a child's pose today. So coming to your mat, bringing the knees out towards the sides of the mat or wherever is comfortable for you, letting your bottom rest on your heels or close towards your heels, and then walking the hands forward and letting the head rest on the mat if that's accessible to you. And then just starting to notice the breath here, letting the body relax. Maybe noticing any spots in the body that you're holding on to tension. And then just really tuning in, starting to become aware. Noticing any thoughts coming to mind. Letting them float away as they come in. And starting to deepen the breath, finding our Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose, filling up all the way down through the core, exhaling through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels more comfortable here. Another big inhale, and an exhale. Sticking with those deep breaths in and out. Whether you sit all day at work or you're moving a lot, our posture and how we move can affect our back and how it feels. So starting to tune in a little bit more to how your back is feeling today. Where do you notice any tightness or tension? Maybe you can help the breath get to that spot to help loosen it up. So on your inhale, focusing your inhales on sending that breath to that tight space. Maybe it's the shoulders or the low back. And on your exhales, really focusing on loosening that up. Inhaling space, exhale, relax. One more like that. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to walk our hands up towards the top of our mat and then gently bring those hands over to the right side. Can stack the left hand on top of the right. You can bring the right hand back by your right knee. Again, head can rest on the mat here or can hover. Then we're going to actively push that left hand down into the mat or the floor. And notice the opening along the side body, maybe even into the low back here. Again, trying to use the breath and focusing on relaxing and letting go any tightness in the back. Staying with the deep inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, bring both hands back towards the top of the mat. And on your exhale, bringing them over to the left side. So options here is right hand can go on top of left. Left hand can go back by the left knee. And then actively pushing that right hand down onto the mat or the floor. As you create that engagement, focus on letting the back relax still. So having that hand pushing in, but also at the same time letting the back relax. Maybe you open and close your jaw here, helping to relieve any tension in the neck. One more nice big inhale. And an exhale. And inhaling, hands back to center. Exhale, pausing here. And then when you're ready, inhaling up to your tabletop. Just bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Bringing the knees underneath the hips. Finding a nice strong table here. We're going to come into some cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly down, roll the shoulders back. You can bring the gaze up towards the wall in front of you, or if it feels better, you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling, actively pulling those shoulders back behind you. And on your exhale, letting the head point down towards the mat, tucking the tailbone down towards the mat, and pushing those shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, almost exaggerating like a cat, finding some opening across the shoulders. Inhale, drop that belly, roll the shoulders down and back to your cow. Exhale, cat. Moving really slow here, paying attention to the opening across the back. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale to table. Exhale, bring the hips down towards the feet, coming into another child's pose here. The knees are a little closer together this time. Just taking a moment here. Noticing if the back feels any different already. Have you noticed anything loosen up? Is there areas that still feel tight? Then inhaling back to your tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to tuck those toes under, and then lifting the hips up towards the wall behind you and that ceiling. Finding your first downward dog. So maybe bending the knees, letting the heels come towards the mat behind you. Letting the head point down towards the mat. And then finding some stillness, taking in a nice big inhale and an exhale. And inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bring those feet up towards the hands. Bring the feet nice and wide here. We're going to really protect the back, so nice wide feet, a nice big bend in the knees, and then let the belly rest on the thighs. Let the head point down towards the mat. Maybe you open and close your jaw. Can look to the left and the right. Maybe moving the neck up and down. Just bringing some gentle movement here into the neck and across the shoulders. Taking a moment here, really letting that low back release, keeping that nice bend in the knees to protect the low back. On your next inhale, we're going to halfway lift. Hands can be on the shins or the thighs. Crown of the head is reaching towards that wall in front of you. Nice flat back. Using a nice strong core to keep you lifted here. On your exhale, we're going to fold back down. We're going to walk both hands over to that left side. Your right hand could even reach for your left ankle. And again, the gaze is going to come back behind you. Inhale the hands back to center. Exhale, bringing them over to the right. You can grab onto that right ankle if that feels okay here. And then just taking a look at that wall behind you. Inhale, walking the hands back to center. Pausing here for the exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to your mountain this time, reaching the hands up towards the ceiling. Gaze can come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here, get grounded with your feet. Take a nice big inhale in and an exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step back to a plank. Holding here for a moment. And then we're going to gently lower the knees, hips and chest all the way down. Inhaling to a baby cobra. So the palms of our hands are going to pull towards our heels, squeezing the elbows together behind us, pushing the tops of the feet into the mat, and then keeping the gaze down, the wrinkles out of the neck. Exhale, lowering the chin down. Inhale to tabletop. And then bringing those knees in here, getting grounded again in your tabletop. Coming into another back stretch here. So we're going to inhale that right arm up. Coming into some little wrist circles, moving one way and the other. Inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Bring that right hand behind the left wrist. The right side of your head here can come down towards the mat or touch the mat. And then just coming to your breath, noticing the opening on the right shoulder, how that feels in the back. Sometimes as we move through some of these poses, we notice some tightness where maybe we didn't notice in another pose. So just noticing and using the breath to help guide you through the poses. One more nice big inhale here and an exhale. We're going to inhale, plant that left hand down, and inhale that right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Finding a few more wrist circles, one direction and then the other. And then plant that hand down. Inhaling the left arm up. Find those left wrist circles, moving one way and then the other on the left side. And then inhale, reaching up a little higher. Exhale, bring that left wrist behind the right. Bringing the head down to the mat. And then finding some stillness here. Again, just noticing any openings you feel in the back, any areas that are starting to maybe loosen up. And letting the breath help you into those poses and move through them. One more inhale and exhale. And then plant that right hand down. Inhale the left arm back up. Finding a few more wrist circles here, one direction and then the other. And on your exhale, bring that down. Move through 2 cat-cows with your breath. Inhaling. Cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck those toes under. Exhale and downward dog. Take a nice big inhale here and exhale. And one more inhale and exhale. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. So we're going to reach that right arm back towards the wall behind us. Left hand is reaching forward. Coming into a gentle twist here on the back. Staying nice and tall and lifted, reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Reaching the left fingers to the back wall. Right fingers reaching towards that front wall. The gaze can be to the wall behind you or facing front if that feels better. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, a little back bend here. So we're going to bring the elbows out wide. Keeping the core nice and tight. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step the feet back. Find your downward dog. We're going to come into a half pigeon here. So we're going to inhale that right leg high. Exhale, bring that right knee to that right wrist. And then bringing that shin as close to parallel as you can get it. My foot is not going to be way up parallel, but finding a comfortable position for your foot here. And then gazing behind, making sure that left foot is pointed to the wall behind you. And then your options here to stay right here or to lower down to your elbows. You can lower down to your forearms or even your forehead. And then finding some comfort here, knowing that we're in a pretty intense stretch. But again, using the breath to help guide you here. Knowing that we are working on loosening up that hip flexor, which also helps to loosen up the lower back. Keeping the gaze down. Letting the breath guide you here. One more nice big inhale here. And an exhale. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, filling up. And exhale. And bringing the palms back to the mat. Inhaling back up to tall arms. Tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee, and then send that right leg back. Taking any little movements here that feel good in the right hip. And then when you're ready, finding some stillness, inhale that left leg high. Exhale, bring that left knee up towards your left wrist. And then again, finding a comfortable spot for that shin. So it's not going to be maybe parallel, but just bringing it over so we're not resting our hip on our ankle. And then again, peeking back, making sure those right toes are pointed to that back wall. So options here to stay up on tall arms, come down to the forearms, or even down on the forehead if that's accessible to you. So finding your pigeon. And then again, finding the breath. Letting the breath help to create some space here in the hip and all along the low back. And take 2 nice big inhales and exhales here. So nice big inhale, filling up in case you've lost the breath. And exhale. One more inhale. And an exhale. And we're going to inhale back up to those tall arms. Tuck those right toes under, lift the right knee, and then send that left leg back. Taking any movements here, again, that feel good on this side. Taking a nice big breath in and out. And then letting the knees come down to the mat and coming around onto the back. So we're going to gently come down on the back. We're going to bring those heels up towards your glutes and just move through 2 bridge poses. So our hands are going to be down by our hips, palm down. Then we're going to inhale, lifting the hips up, keeping the knees pointed towards the ceiling, maybe even there touching. And then staying nice and lifted in the body. You can even push down with the hands here. And exhale, gently lower down. Let the knees come to the left and the right. And then find center again. Bring those heels back up if they've shifted. And then inhaling back up to your second bridge. Pushing the hands down into the mat and the heels down into the mat. Taking a nice big inhale and an exhale. One more inhale and an exhale, gently lowering down. This time hugging the knees in. Just massaging that low back with some gentle rocks from side to side. And then letting both knees fall to the right. Extending the arms out long, and then gaze can stay up towards the ceiling, or the gaze can come over towards the left side. Whatever feels safer here for your neck. Right hand can rest on top of the right knee if that feels okay. And then just taking a few moments here, taking a nice gentle twist on the back, helping to release anything else that's tight still. And then inhaling back to center. And then releasing to the other side. Letting both knees fall to the left this time. And gaze over the right shoulder if that feels okay. And then inhaling both knees back to center. Hugging them in one more time. Gentle rock from side to side. And then giving yourself a little hug here. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, bring the forehead to the knees. Inhale, relax, coming all the way down on the mat, finding your Shavasana. Letting the heels come towards the sides of the mat. Letting the arms rest heavy on the floor. Your gaze can be open or closed. You can use an eye pillow here if that feels safe to you. And then working on finding some stillness. Coming back to the body, to the mat, to your breath. So just being still here. Melting back down into the mat, letting the head rest heavy, letting the back rest heavy on the mat. Focusing then on the low back and the hips, melting down into the mat, totally relaxing. And then focusing on the legs, relaxing, finding stillness in the calves and the ankles. Maybe your feet relax and point towards the sides of the room. Letting any thoughts that enter the brain, let them go just as quickly as they come in. Just being one with your mat. Gently bringing some movement back into the body, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, letting the head look to the left and to the right. Maybe taking a big, long, good morning stretch, reaching the hands over the head, away from the toes. And then when you're ready, hugging your knees into your chest, rolling over onto your left or right side. And taking a moment here to pause as you're in your embryo pose on your side, knowing this is a sign of rebirth, a new way to start off the rest of your day, whether it's the morning or the evening, that this is your fresh start or your refresh. When you're ready, coming to a seated position at the top of your mat, gaze can be down or eyes closed. Letting the hands come to the sides of the body. Inhaling the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing the thumbs to the third eye, that space between the eyebrows. Knowing that you are smart enough. Bringing the thumbs to the lips. May you always speak your truth and honesty. And the thumbs to the heart center. Again, knowing that all you have inside is what you need. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.